It's hello, guys. Hello, guys. Can we all hear me? Hello. Welcome once again. I'm trying to put off my just to follow up to ensure that I'm actually live. Can we all hear me? It's the second to the last day. This is day 24 of Financial Gbasgbos, our mid-year reset. And I am Sandra from Team Rev 360. It's my third time here, and it's been a wonderful time showing up every day for the past 3 days now. Today makes it 24 days. So for the past 24 days, I hope that we have learned a lot, and I hope that we've started doing all the things that we said we're going to start doing, all our assignments. I really hope that we've been doing it and we've been serious about it. Please let me know where you're watching from, your name and where you're watching from, while TMO joins us later. Just put it in the comment section where you're watching from and what if how many days you've joined us. Just put it there too. How many days you've showed up every day? Have you been showing up every day, or have you been showing up on some days? And just put one lesson or two lessons that you've learned so far in this 25 days of Gbasgbos mid-year reset. So I believe that the way you are approaching the next 6 months, it's not more 6 months actually. The way you are approaching the next 5 months, August, September, October, November, December, is definitely different from the way you've been operating since day one, January to July, or would I say January to June? Please put it in the comment section. I'm not seeing our comments. Let me see your 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 comments. I'm not seeing the comment. Oh, I'm actually not. Yeah, okay. Kindly put it in the comment section. And today's topic is an interesting one because we are talking about building legacy, building wealth beyond you. So it's not just about me, myself, and I, but now it's me and the generations and generations to come out of those generations. So while we are not here, I was going to say while we're yet sinners, but while we were not here, let it be that the wealth that we have built still lives after we are gone. So we are learning about that today, how we can build wealth that can outlive us. Yes, that would last. Not just building wealth for today, but a wealth for generations to come that we can hand over. I don't know if anybody was there when Mrs. BC took her part on Tuesday and she was talking about how she's not just doing businesses, but businesses that her children can find interest in and still maybe choose to carry on the business, carry on the family legacy, and carry on with those businesses. She was talking about multiple streams of income. So we've gone past that level of, we are going to learn how to go back past that level of building for just me, saving for just me, investing for just me, to my children and even the children's children. Please, I'm not seeing the comments. Please let me see the comments. Let me, is it me that is not, is it me that is not, are we commenting? Let me check on YouTube. Let me check on YouTube because I'm not seeing the comments. I'm not seeing the comments. So I'm here on YouTube now. Please let me see your comments, or if you can hear me, if you can see me, kindly let me see your comments. Okay, I'm not live. All right. But I'm even here on YouTube. I'm not seeing the comments. I need the comments, please. Okay, I
Yeah,
think
you
so.
see, you save
Okay,
money
TM,
on
yeah.
the phone.
Enter the studio.
I'm starting.
TM is here.
I'm trying to
All
add
right, all right.
streaming platforms. You didn't add the other platforms where we are going to stream to. You
Oh,
went
okay.
live without
I think went live.
pre. You were only streaming on, I think, YouTube alone.
YouTube. YouTube. We are live on other platform now. I can see Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. I'm trying to set it up. Okay. Um, just a moment. We're live already on Instagram, or we're almost live on Instagram. I haven't. Let me see. Okay. So, Facebook isn't working right now. We're not able to go live on Facebook for whatever reason. I think it
Okay.
is. You're going to move your face a little bit. If you look at the second frame, Sandra, your face isn't
Okay.
showing in the. Thank you. All right. So now we are live on Instagram as well as YouTube on Legacy Thinking. What have you been saying? What have you been saying on Legacy Thinking?
So I was preparing everyone's mind on how we're going to learn about building wealth beyond us and building wealth that would outlive us. So we're not just thinking me, myself, and I, or me, myself, and my children, but we are thinking about our children's children and
Yeah.
generations to come. So it's not just about building it and also bringing up the next generation or teaching them how to also handle what you have worked for, the wealth that you've built, teaching the next generation on how to be able to master it and make good use of whatever it is that we have built while we're here. So, but we've not even said much. I was just telling everyone to drop in the comment section, and I was appreciating everyone for showing up for the past 24 days. This is day 24, the second to the last day, and I needed to know what they've learned, whatever it is that they've been able to start doing, what they've decided to stop doing. I just needed to know in the comment section. I was waiting for other people to comment to see what they've been doing, and just generally appreciating. Even you, ma, I want to appreciate you for showing up here for the past 24 days. And we need to take tutorials on how to slay effortlessly. I'm loving your hairstyle.
Oh my goodness. My puff puff. Ah, my scalp is really hurting. I
It
wanted to
doesn't look
braid.
like that. Yeah.
I got
Oh,
the
and
I
this
got the
is really
braiding. I loosed my hair that I want to braid, and then when I finished losing the hair, my scalp was just paining me everywhere. So I did a style on Monday, and then I now did this one on Tuesday, and everybody was like, "Oh, I love your hair, I love your hair." So since they say they love the love, I've been carrying the same hair since on Tuesday till
yes.
today.
Uh, okay, I've not seen you since on Tuesday, but I really love this. I
Mm,
love
I've been carrying it since on Tuesday. I was on Mariah's show today as part of the audience, and somebody actually
Oh,
commented on YouTube that Atiemu, I love your hair.
and talking about the
And he showed on the screen. I was just like, oh my God.
is it how the
So
simple
what
things
are we
are
going to
making
work?
statements?
They are making me fall in love with natural hair packing again. I've had moved away, but now maybe I'll reconnect with my love for natural hair. It's just that this gray hair is making
I
me feel
think
like I'm more old person. I'm not old. I'm a baby girl. I'm a baby girl.
yes, ma'am.
Anyway,
You should come back.
how are you doing? Legacy thinking, building wealth beyond you is such a vital topic because a lot of times we don't have the conversation enough. Like we are There's a lot of conversation around wealth creation, but not a lot of conversation around sustaining the wealth.
Yes, I
And
agree.
wealth sustenance is very, very crucial. Like, wealth sustaining is as important as making the money. It's another way to say it is managing the money, but wealth transfer is what we are talking about, where you are able to pass it on to the next generation. That for me is legacy thinking. Is that I think that the earlier you start thinking about it, the better. The way you raise a child that is going to manage billions is different from the way you raise a child that is going to be hustling. The conversation you have with that child is from the beginning. Oh, you're going to be managing this money, you're managing these people. It is not a conversation that you're going to get a job, you're going to work, you are going to manage what your parents have built. I think that there's a lot of disconnect when we don't intentionally raise our next generation with the consciousness of their responsibility to manage. So there's the desire to seek self-expression. So you hear parents that have built successful businesses and their children want to now go and become a fashion designer. Children want to become a hairstylist. Because they did not have an understanding of the legacy that they carry. But as parents, you need to know that I am raising my children to understand that there is a legacy attached to your name, attached to your lineage. You are not just going to regular school, learning regular. Those conversations happen more intentionally when wealthy families are transferring money to the next generation. But when it is a family that hustled, they don't even, their focus is just on let's make money. They are not thinking, what will happen when I pass to this money that I am making? When you then have, about 2 years ago, true life story, someone that I know knows the person directly, where the father passed on and handed over the property to his last born, because his last born was more hands-on with the company. The firstborn was working in the company as an oga, but the guy was not really dedicated. He comes to the office, just comes to lounge, mark register, and goes. But the last born was actively working on the company, growing the business like his father's PA. So the man changed his will and said that when he passes on, the last born will be the CEO of the company. Guess what? The firstborn took the last born to court, set up the last born as in falsified the last born's document. That man spent 2 years in prison. 2 years, the last born. The brother falsified his documents, then set him up in a case that's of fraud on a transaction he did not do. Made it look like he was the one that falsified and he stole money and all of that, and they took him and put him in jail for 2 years just because the will gave the last son the investment. That happens more often because there wasn't legacy thinking right from the beginning of how they raised the children. The unity of the children, the mindset of the children, the vision that the children have been given right from the beginning. And so for me, it's an important conversation to have. Now, this is a conversation that is not needed by many people. But the wise people would stay in this call, because if you understand what God is going to bring to life through you, then you will understand the importance of changing how you think and start raising intentionally with your children, structuring your business intentionally, and even structuring your life with that intention as a steward. You are a custodian of the wealth. You are a custodian. This is a channel. I am managing it. And then I'm raising my next generation, the team, to also manage it. So there is the conversation. I want to start with the thinking of legacy is something that wealthy people do. No, it's not. Legacy is what everybody should be thinking about. Legacy is not for very wealthy people. Legacy is for every human being, because in the definition of legacy itself, it's not about whether you have money. It's about, you know, it's about what is managed after you're gone. Like when you finish living, what is left behind. So when we talk about legacy, most of the time the definition is around the fact that money, property left in a will or something passed down from older generation. So how I see it is legacy is what lives on after you. Your people, your inheritance, your properties, what you have written down in a will. We discussed on your view today. And in our conversation on your view, our topic was on the story that broke in Lagos. It happened last month, where a 28-year-old woman lost her husband and her in-laws locked her out of the house. It was in Ikorodu. She has 2 boys. 8 days after her husband passed, she got home and she discovered that her husband's family had locked up the gate of their house, and so she could not get into the house. So she came online, escalated. Thankfully, because it is in Lagos, they were able to open the gate and she's back into her house. But the legacy thinking is for you to know that once you have assets, you need to have a will. You need to have terms and conditions of what will happen in detail after your passing. But if you don't have a legacy thinking before you pass on, what will happen is even your, how will I put it, your children will not know how to manage the resources you've passed down to them because they were not prepared for it. I like to use other examples that is not directly related with. So if I'm, what happened?
I'm not seeing you.
Even me, I don't know what happened though.
I'm still not seeing you. Okay, you're back. You're back.
Was it a network issue? Oh,
I don't know if it's a network, but it showed that another person entered the studio.
it was just when I entered the studio, but that shouldn't take me out on a normal day.
I don't know. Oh, you're back.
Okay.
Well, good.
So I think that if you are learning, if you throw someone into the pool that does not know how to swim, you cannot expect them to survive. And even if you feel like, oh, the pool is very shallow, it shouldn't be a big deal. Point is, you didn't prepare the person for the pool, you didn't prepare the person for the water, and the person's reaction will be exaggerated because they don't know how to swim. That's the same way if you don't think legacy and you throw inheritance at your family, or you throw a business and you pass, there must be legacy in mind. There must be structure on how things go. So, and it's not an easy conversation to have because everybody assumes they have enough time. And so I think the first time I had a conversation around legacy was it was 2020, it was 3 years ago, 2023 Business Sustainability Summit, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. The topic was around legacy. And it was the first time I was sitting in a room and we had a lawyer discussing will, discussing trust. I was like, how many property do I have that I'm doing will, I'm doing trust? And, there was conversations around structure, what will happen to your business, all those conversations. Even our lawyer, Bryce Afolari, was having a conversation with me about, actually since January this year, is reminding me consistently that your board, you need to structure your board so that your board can run the team when you are not around, who is in the board, and let's get them committed to the process before the time comes. So those are conversations on legacy thinking. It is not that I am planning to die. No. It is not that you are hoping life will happen. No. It is that you know for a fact that life happens. And when it does, you must be ready and prepared for the opportunities that you have created so that they don't pass on. And so we always talk about the drama of what happened. Where is MKO Abiola? Since MKO's passing, where are those things that the multiple businesses that he built? Where are those businesses right now? There's nothing to speak to those businesses because guess what? The structure was not clearly tied down. And so, yes, some of the children tried to build on it, but it just was not enough. So succession planning is another way to think of legacy thinking. When we are thinking of legacy, we think of succession planning, but building wealth beyond you. What was your own first thought when we talk, when you see the topic building wealth beyond you?
It's literally almost the same thing you had spoken on, because I remember what came to my mind was, okay, what next? Building wealth that is not just for me, that does not just end with me, but transferable, and also bringing up children in a way that they're able to manage such well that even if, let it not look like after sweating and all for everything and achieving all that all that I've been able to achieve, or all that I'm going to achieve, then when I leave, it gets squandered, because we see a lot of that most of the times. Then I also thought of, okay, so what do I have? Because there's that common misconception that it's only the wealthy people in quotes that should think of building wealth beyond them or building a legacy. And coming to think of it now, I found that the legacy is not just about your money or your investment. There's more to it, even down to your core values, personal core values. Are we passing it down? Because I know the time you were talking in the office and you kept saying, oh, do you take your children to work? Do your children know what you do? Do they have an idea of how you make the money that they are spending and all of that? So is indoctrinating the children into what I or now indoctrinating my children into what yes. So I carry them along and see that, okay, it's not just that we are plucking money from the tree here. We actually work for it, and this is how we work for it, and this is how you can build and manage what has been built. So that was the perspective I came from.
Another thing that I'll say is, if we take legacy thinking and building wealth beyond you into succession planning, like breaking down how to plan your succession, is how I would ask us to approach it is to start identifying key roles within your life and who can manage it. Legacy thinking is, if anything happens to me, who can my children call? Who will take care of my children? It's not, before they will take your children and go and put in one village with family members, when you have friends that, because if you did not put it down, there's no structure, there's no plan. God forbid, you'll not be like, oh, what now happened? You are working so hard. You have investments in different apps and all of that. And the way it happens in Nigeria, and I'm talking from the perspective of a woman, if anything happens to the woman, in 1 year, they brought another woman for the man and say, Oga cannot live alone. No. Let us ensure that there's somebody to take care of Oga. So if you're thinking legacy is to think that if anything happens to me and, I have my friends that would come and take up my children and ensure that they get quality education regardless of what happens, and they know. I have written my plans. You currently have, weird as small as you might think it is, you have your cowrie-wise investment, you have your rice-based investment, you have your piggy-based investment, you have all these, your platforms you have put money into. When you fill the form, did you put in your next of kin? Many of us didn't. The money is just on the platform. So what happens is there any way for people to know, those that survive you, to know that you have investments in all these platforms? You did not tell anybody.
Very
That
well.
money has gone. They'll just say unclaimed.
Yeah.
Unclaimed dividends, unclaimed shares, unclaimed assets. That's all. After a few years, they call it dormant. And after being dormant for a while, it is liquidated into the bank. So it is extremely important that everything that you own is known to a legal representative of you. That and how it is going to be managed is known. So you identify critical roles in your life. What is the role of a legal representative? It is not something you joke about. Your lawyer is not just for settling cases. Sometimes we think it's only when we have court case that we need a lawyer. Or if I don't have, close the door. If I don't have a court case, why do I need a lawyer? If I'm not writing legal documents, I don't need a lawyer. You know, but in actual fact, you do, because you need someone that understands, whose job is to stay neutral and help you see all the risk affiliated with your growth and help protect you from those risks. Because as you grow, there are risks affiliated with growth. And the job of the lawyer, that's why my lawyer is calling me about board, because my lawyer is looking at it, okay, you are growing, my job is to help you protect yourself from the risk associated with growth. Prepare for the opportunities you seek and protect yourself from challenges that you did not plan for. That is legacy thinking. It is the opposite of legacy thinking is thinking in the moment, is to think that once I can eat and drink today, I'm fine. Legacy thinks the next 10 years, not 10 years. Legacy thinks the next 40 years, 40 years after me. So when we have conversations around legacy thinking, I think the first step is to identify critical roles in your life. Who is that person that, if I step out of the scene, can step in and ensure that everything is protected? In some cases, it is the lawyer. It's not family member. It's not family member. It is that you have a lawyer that understands all that you own, all your wishes and your desires. And immediately anything happens, that lawyer can step in, and every man should have that. Because sometimes men don't think in this line. They leave things to chance. No will, no plan. You leave the case to probate and it's interstate. So it's whatever the government now design and decide is how your family is being protected. And there are assets scattered across the world that nobody knows about. Legacy thinking, you don't hide assets. Even if you hide assets from some family members because you know they're not trustworthy. And let me tell you for a fact, there are some family members that are not trustworthy, that you cannot tell them those things you own. So because you also understand that we've heard stories, Nollywood industry has traumatized us about how people will know that you have property and then they will now set kidnapping and send Orishi to your house. Yeah. You'll be sure is a lawyer that you can trust, and at least always tell someone, because you can't hide from everyone. You need to have key positions, identify key people, key roles around you that you need someone to man. If you have small children, my children will go to my parents' place. Do you know how much of an issue that causes? If you know that, okay, my partner can handle the children, good. If you know your partner cannot handle your children, you put your children in the custody of people you know can handle the children. Not because you don't trust the system, but because you understand that in this situation, no, I don't think that my partner can handle the children. And I'm using the word partner because it can be husband, it can be male, it can be female. Many times you assume, oh, men die young. It's a lie. Women also die young. Anything can happen to anybody. We're not wishing death on anyone, but we're saying everybody be prepared. Everybody be prepared. Legacy thinking is not just about preparing your will and property. It is ensuring that you are truly prepared for life and its eventualities. But if we move that a bit to the side, the second thing is to assess your current assets. Assess what you have. Always, as you acquire, and we have many customers that they buy into this estate, they buy into that estate. We talk to customers and they don't know the number of lands they have in different estates that they own with us. Even they are not, they don't, because you cannot, your mind is focused on how to make more money, not to be thinking about the assets you already bought. But you need to assess your current portfolio. You need to assess your current portfolio and have a system to check it maybe every 6 months, twice a year.
Another thing that I would love to add, because I'm also jotting down as TMO is talking, is that I think from what you have said, I think one suggestion is, as you acquire assets, or as long as you have anything to your name, just have a sheet of paper, have a book, a diary where you list everything you own down, so that in case of anything, at least that book. Because actually, apparently, because you mentioned next of kin, my mind just went up. The people we use as next of kin, are they aware that they are the next of kin? So,
especially for you that you are newly married, your marriage is still less than 2 years, right? About 2 years now. And most of your documents probably still carried your father and your mother's name.
Yes.
It took me, I think till like around 10 years in my marriage before I feel like everything has actually moved to my husband. I'm telling you, because I discovered over time later that there were still some documents that it was my mom's name that was on my next of kin. That I discovered long after marriage, because I did not even remember it. So it's extremely important that we think about this thing. Let me tell you, the password of, I feel we should have the password of our accounts written. Every bank app that you have, password of your bank app, password of your email address, because there was a situation, this one I read it online, where someone fell ill. The person had the money, but no family member had the money, and nobody could access her account. She could afford, is a woman, she could afford the payment, but nobody could access the account and nobody could reach her. So it was a case of, they later discovered that her child knows the password. You know the way children are always looking behind your ear? The child knew the password. So it was like last minute that they was like, I know the password, and they were able to bring out the money. But life happens. There must be, if anything happen, emergency, this is a number you call. They can then open these documents and get access to whatever it is they need to liquidate to ensure that we do all that we need to do. Legacy thinking is long-term. Long-term. You're not thinking the next 2 years. You're not thinking the next 3 years. You are thinking the next 40 years. What will happen to me in 40 years' time? I'm going to be 81. What quality of life do I want to have at 81? What kind of relationship do I want to have with my family at 81? 40 years from now, how would I want to feel at 81? So there are some things I want to do now. I'll think about it that if I do this thing now, it might impact on the quality of life I get to live at 81. You need to have long-term thinking, because you are building beyond yourself. The sacrifices you need to make for your children to be able to carry on the legacy, very key. The conversation, another very, very crucial part of this conversation that we are not always quick to think of. You know, you mentioned that legacy covers your values.
Yeah.
Good name, the good name that you have, the good name that you preserved. There are some things you will not do because it will tarnish your good name and the legacy you are protecting, so that after you go on, even at old age, those you leave behind have something of you that they are proud of, that they will hold on to that name because you have built a strong legacy around the name. So I think that another thing I wanted us to talk about, we already mentioned having a list of all your passwords and all your assets, all your passwords, all your assets. Have it listed. Any asset that you have that you are hiding from family members is an asset that can disappear if anything happens to you.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
So even if you feel I do not want, and because sometimes God forbid, you are married to someone, or you have family members that once they know you have money, they will not even let you rest. The money is gone. So sometimes to
Finish it.
truly build wealth, so that you can truly build wealth, you must hide the money. Hello, I'm not saying you should hide it, but I'm just saying wisdom is profitable to direct. If you need to hide with sense. However, know that what you hidden can be lost. And to avoid what you are hiding from getting lost, you know how we have money in different corners of the house. I grew up with my parents, my mom and dad. They were always inside, under one place, inside one room, inside one bag. There was a day, thank God, that Emefiele undid the Naira change. That was how I found I found money. Old notes. The money would have been wasted. They come to paper. That time that Emefiele was changing money, my mom was busy searching the house that I don't know which money I have in any corner, so that this money will not be lost. I did not even bother, because I just felt like I cannot even be searching, until I discovered one. And I was like, oh my God, thank God that they did not change this money again. Because if they had changed currency totally, you know what, we're using two currencies right now concurrently.
Yes.
If they had changed currency totally, that money would have been useless, just paper, ordinary paper. So it's extremely important that as you are busy trying to hide things around, know who your enemy is, know who your friend is. Sometimes you are running away from enemy, but because you have so turned everybody into, you have painted everybody with the coat of corruption, you are not being honest, and you are not getting the necessary help that you need. So ensure you always talk to your lawyer. Ensure you always have someone that you can trust, a mentor, an older, wealthier person who is not intimidated or impressed by whatever you think you have achieved, and can act as a guide for you. Someone that can sit on that fence. If you don't have such a person, you need to intentionally, legacy thinking is to build relationships with such people. You need to build relationship with such people. You cannot have plenty of them. Well, I can manage plenty of them. Let me speak for myself. But some people are able to manage plenty people. I cannot, because it is time to manage those relationships. So if you now have those relationships, what you should do is to ensure that every one of those people that you have met, go and nurture the relationship with them, so that they can be, okay, I cannot even afford a lawyer yet, but I can afford my uncle can afford, I can use my uncle's lawyer. My uncle's lawyer can keep my documents for me. You know, that kind of thing. Okay, I can't afford a lawyer yet, but my mentor's lawyer can stand in gap for me, because I know that they will have our interest at heart. It's one of the benefits of our community at REBA and these trainings that we do. I forgot what's the training that my mentorship program. REMP. What we achieved with REMP, many people that joined REMP, I know that they ended up using our surveyor and our lawyer to do their documents. And that's because they were mentored by me. I introduced them to my own lawyer, telling them, please, these guys are just coming up. You cannot hide, you can't have properties hidden in different corners of the world and your family don't know about it. That property is gone. So consolidate, merge it, put it together with a lawyer. Legacy thinking is long-term thinking. Legacy thinking is long-term thinking. You need to be able to think about what will happen to me and have that clearly defined. That being said, also, what kind of name do I want to leave behind? What do I want people to say about me when I pass on? Yes, I'm going to die at 90 something. I'm going to die at over 100. Whenever I pass on, what's the legacy I want to leave behind? What's the legacy? Folorunsho Alakija was the richest woman in Africa. But the legacy she wanted to leave behind is that she's a woman of God that causes others to flourish. So what she focused her attention on doing is to build Rose of Sharon ministry, and they keep helping widows, and they keep supporting businesses through the Flourish Her program. Because The woman is in a, I think she's probably almost 80 now, if not over 80. I don't, let me confirm that. Let me just confirm that. Because what she wants to, all right, how old is she? 75 years old. So what, at 75, she's looking at it that if I live long, maybe I live the next 25 years and I die at 100, what is my legacy? I don't want my legacy to be, I was the richest woman in Africa. And so the legacy she wants is what she's now stressing and stretching herself over. That legacy thinking is to be able to consciously and deliberately decide, who do I want to be remembered as? An entrepreneur, a philanthropist, or a Tony Elumelu's journey? Yes, Tony is an entrepreneur, but Tony will be more known and remembered. His legacy is the Tony Elumelu Foundation and the funds they are how they are supporting businesses. Well, Dangote is remembered for businesses. Even though Dangote is doing a whole lot of philanthropy, he's not leading, and his legacy is not around philanthropy. His legacy is around building multiple successful businesses. So legacy is intentionally planned. You must plan, this is the legacy I want to have. This is how I want to be remembered. This is what I want my children to have in their mind when they think of me. When my grandchildren think of me, this is what they should think of when they connect with me. When my staff that work in my company, when I've passed on. Because guess what? There are people currently working in MasterCard Foundation, in Ford Foundation. Ford is somebody's name. Ford is somebody's name. The Ford has died, but people are carrying on his legacy, investing money under his name, building people and society under his name. That was his legacy. And so, if you don't plan your legacy, you will just be, what are we doing right now as Christians? Christians are carrying on the legacy of Jesus. Jesus says, do this in remembrance of me. That is him. Jesus was intentional about his legacy. Go ye into the world and preach the gospel. He knew what he was here for. He knew who he was called to. He knew his assignment, and he passed on the legacy and the baton that this is what you should all do after. This is what you should all do after I am gone. That is legacy thinking. It is that you have clarity that when I move on, this is what you should do. If you read the Bible, many kings did not have legacy. So you will read in the Kings, you will read that the king departed from the ways of God. That this king became the king and he departed from the ways of his fathers. It's there. When I read it, when I read the Bible, I was just like, how did this, why did, okay, so let me try and actually, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you clearly.
Okay. Because whenever I read these scriptures, close that door. So you read the scripture. So this is a king. This is 2 Kings verse chapter 18, verse 1. He said, now it came about in the 3rd year of Uzziah, the son of Elah, king of Israel. Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz of Judah, became the king. He was 25 years old when he became the king. He reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother, Abi, was the daughter of Zechariah. So he was from a family, his families were very strong in God. What did he do? He said he removed the high places of pagan worship. He broke down the images, memorial stones, and cut down Asherim. He also crushed the bronze serpents that Moses made for those in the days of Israelites and burned incense in it. he trusted in and relied confidently in the Lord. Guess what? When you read about his own child, if he just decide, say, I know they do, you now read the scripture and you continue like, and then the son decided not to follow in the path of his father. I'm like, that was the first time. That was the first time I started thinking legacy, because I just looked at it that, can you imagine a king followed God and his son turned away from God? Legacy thinking. If you do not have legacy planned, you can do amazing work while on earth. MKO had an amazing life, but there is a generation born that don't know what MKO means. They have no idea. They don't know what it means because there was no intentional thinking of passing on that legacy. So the name was a powerful name at a point in time. Do you know that it was recently that I did not know that Okada was an airline? I didn't know. Okada was an airline. Okada Air was owned by a legacy family that they had multiple successful businesses, the Igbinedions. They had Okada Air. It was the first ever Nigerian private airline. The business has died. Thankfully, Igbinedion is still managing, their legacy is still managing to hold on to the secondary school. But if you Google that secondary school right now, what you will see is the violence that happened, the bullying, the video of bullying at Igbinedion Secondary School. Igbinedion International Secondary School, whatever, is an international school in Benin. So legacy is key. You need to think it. What will happen in 50 years' time? Can you think 100 years from now? You will not be alive. Jeff Bezos is building a clock that they will not finish the clock. He would have died. He's 100% sure, because it will take over 100 years to finish building the clock. But Jeff Bezos has put the fund for them to build that clock. He knows that he will not be alive when they finish building the clock, but his name will be on it. That's legacy. Yeah. You need to think beyond you. Not just about wealth, but about values. Who am I known for? Am I a person of integrity? What would they say about me? Emefiele is such a corrupt person, convicted of stealing Nigerian money to buy properties, and he owns an estate in Abuja. There is a former Chief Justice of Nigeria convicted of corruption, Malami. If you hear Malami now and you're someone that follows the news, the legacy Malami has left behind is someone who stole money. For a long time, Dezani was associated with theft until she was just cleared. Legacy. Yes. Yet, Okonjo-Iweala is associated with taking Nigeria out of debt. Legacy. Yeah. What is your legacy? What's your legacy? What's your legacy? It's not about Kemi Badenoch is a leader of African descent, Nigerian born leader in the UK, and the reputation and legacy she's leaving behind is not inspiring any Nigerian to want to be associated with her, and she's also distancing herself from that. That's her legacy. What's your own legacy? What will people say about you? For me, I've had that consciousness for a long time that I want people to say that being close to me brought them growth. It concerns me if anybody around me is not growing. It's like this is a personal indictment on me, because the legacy I want to have is everybody around me. You just come into my life like this. Oh, you just met me. You just brushed me online. You just found one video and you just look at one video and boom, you just be like, my life, I must not continue like this. My life must change. I must blow. This thing must happen. That's my own legacy. Growth is my legacy. Is what I want to happen. So it is a conversation that we must all have with ourselves. It's not with an outsider. You must decide what, for Pastor Sam Adeyemi, Dr. Sam Adeyemi, Reverend Sam Adeyemi, whichever name you choose to call him, they are all facts. Is leadership. Is a leadership teacher. He embodies selfless leadership. He talks about it. He lives on it. He's a teacher. Our church is a school. Literally a school. We have the business school. We have the Bible school. We have the children's leadership school. It is a school. Everything about the school, the church, is actually a school, because legacy is leadership and training people. So every time your investment, if you have legacy thinking, it will impact on how you spend money. Because some things you will not spend money on it. Because you know that I am a Mrs. Grace Ofure is she's my mentor. She's someone I really respect. There is no way, I know it for a fact, that Mrs. Grace will never declare a party. She will not use her money to call band and do decoration for people to celebrate her birthday. Never. Her legacy is kingdom agenda, kingdom financing. That is her legacy. She would rather gather all that money that she could use to do party for herself and be booking caterer and all of that. To do, let us pray. Let us go and do whatever it is. Let's donate it to church. That is her legacy. And our children know. And if you were at the prayer thing with me, did you not see her daughter on stage? What was her daughter doing?
I did.
Her daughter was following the legacy. Her daughter was shatta, kaba, as in like on the stage. 13-year-old, 14-year-old on stage, following the legacy her mother had put on ground. Let's not you cannot play with the importance of legacy. You cannot. And you must think it before you become it. Because you think it, you become it, then you achieve it. Legacy thinking precedes legacy becoming the legacy, and then achieving that legacy. It is intentional. Intentional. It needs to be top of mind. It needs to be conversation that you are having. Because if you don't think it's not going to randomly happen. I hope you are following. I know you are following, Sandra. I'm asking the viewers if they are following. If they are following and they have questions or scenarios they want us to address. Let's take a few questions before we run off. And let me leave the floor. I've been talking because I feel like I have more thought process concerning legacy. But I know that you have ideas as well. So let me not just overtake the entire conversation.
No, I was going to ask, like, would I say the generations before our parents, when it comes to building legacy, especially when it comes to properties and all, some of them don't believe they don't believe about getting a lawyer. Some of them don't believe.
I'm not hearing you. Oh gosh.
Okay, can you hear me?
You need to come again.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly now?
I'm struggling, but talk. Say it slowly.
So I was saying that the generations before us, like my parents and their generation, some of them don't believe in building legacy, especially when it comes to maybe wealth, not like building but transferring, because some people just say let culture have its way. Let culture play its let tradition do whatever it is to do. I am not there. Like I've handed it over. There's nothing. I go. Culture is going to, the tradition is going to handle whatever it is that is left or whatever it is that I leave behind. So what would you say to that? And I'm sure some of us said, because we grew up like that, some people will be of that opinion. My parents did it, nothing happened. Tradition had its way. When I pass, tradition is going to have its own way too, and all of that. Because I know there might be someone on in here, live here, or that might watch the replay, thinking that way, that son, I'm not saying it. At the end of the day, I'm from so and so state. The elders of the land are going to do. So I want you to give an idea of what
Christians quickly go and quote the scripture, leave inheritance for your children's children. We always quick to go and quote that scripture that you are meant to leave inheritance for your children's children. But aside from that, I think that it's important to, yes, leave inheritance for your children's children, but you also need to own while you are here to enjoy yourself. I was saying this thing. I don't know where my Money Monday video is. I don't know if I did a video on it specifically, but I know I mentioned it during our Wisdom and Wins that
Yes.
many parents now, they are not living even when they have property, they sell their property one after the other. Some children think that their parents have so many properties. By the time they die, it will shock them that before their parents died, their parents have sold 90% of the properties that they own to enjoy their self. So yes, you might be thinking, I'm acquiring this investment and properties. I don't want to acquire for my children. They will sort themselves out. Let the dead bury the dead. They will be okay. They will be fine. When in actual fact, if you buy enough as a young person and you get to live long by the special grace of God, you will live till ripe old age. You are then able to use that particular asset to provide for yourself in your old age. I mentioned that a man sold a property that he bought for like less than 10 million naira for over 600 million now in his lifetime. And is an old man that is driving a brand new car, enjoying himself, Organa Bobo. When he wants to travel business class, he travels 5 times in a year to different parts of the world. He's in his 70s and he's a jaye old man, just chilling. He just collected 600 million plus for a property that he wants to use to flex, that will last him for the next how many years again, aside from rental income that he's getting from other properties. He's enjoying himself. So legacy thinking is not just, oh, I want to live the life and suffer for my children. No, you are suffering for yourself. Now you go still enjoy and pass. Yes, they would also enjoy and bless you for what you left for them, but that is secondary. The primary is that you got to enjoy the quality of life that it afforded you because you made the sacrifice in your youth to think long term. So buying that real estate, that Jaye man, when he was buying it that time, I am sure that, I'm just calling him Jaye man because the man when you see, you will not believe that this man is in his late 70s. Like, the man is such a funky bubble. He's like, dye his hair, everything is black, no gray anywhere. They shave, constantly exercising. I'm like, this old man, no, driving brand new T-Roba luxury car. His children are all living in different parts of the continent, and he visits them. He doesn't even stay in their house. He says he books hotel, books his tickets, goes to see his grandchildren in different parts of the world. Let me tell you, thinking legacy is not thinking selfishly. It is thinking long-term, thinking your children, buying assets, thinking that if I'm not working in 30 years' time, in 40 years' time, I don't want to have to work. Like I said, I've been telling myself, talk about in 40 years' time, you are going to be 80 to 81. You obviously don't want to have to be working for a living. You don't want to have to be calling your children to ask for money to switch on the lights in your house. So you have to think now so that you don't become a liability that is calling that my BP medicine. It's from now, because by God's grace, I will not need BP medicine when I'm at that age. I will not need diabetes medicine at that age, in the name of Jesus. I am planning it already, legacy thinking. But I don't want to have to say, oh, I need them. I can afford it. I can afford it. I can afford it. I can afford it. I met a family on the cruise we went last year. That family went on the cruise sponsored by their grandparents. So the father paid for all his children, all their wives and husbands, and their children, that's his grandchildren. Everybody, they were like over 30. The guy was telling me that my father paid for tickets for all of us. The father paid for tickets for him, his wife, his children, his siblings, their partners, their children, everybody on the cruise. That's legacy thinking. See, all of us have different quality of life. There are levels to this thing. We have different quality of life we want to live. I interviewed a woman that is currently serving as a commissioner in Edo State. She came on Your View earlier this year, and she was telling us that every year since she was in university, every member of family comes for vacation. She said her father sponsors everybody. She said right now, even siblings of her husband, her father pays for them so that their children can join the vacation. I'm not saying the children, no. Her husband's siblings, because her children are so close to their cousin, in-laws, they join the vacation.
Wonderful.
So, what is the quality of life that you want to live? This guy, he does. Oh, our time has finished. Edutainment. He's is he Iranian or is a Persian? His program is Edutainment. I'm trying to remember his first name. He said that whenever he's thinking his legacy, he wants his grandchildren to say, "We want to go to Papa this one's house." Like, they will call him Papa, and they would want to come to his house because his house is going to be mega fun. He said he wants his house, that when they come to his house, they would have pool, bouncing castle, everything, that his grandchildren will say, "I know we would like to go to see the other grandparents, but we would rather stay with, because this our particular grandparents, oh my God, they give us so much fun." He's already preparing for it. His children are just teenagers, but he's already telling himself that the reason he's making so much money is so that his grandchildren will say that they don't want to go to our other grandfather and grandmother's house. We want to go to this Papa's house. They are coming to Papa's house. And that's because they know when they come, he wants to have so much money, he can spoil his grandchildren. They will not even want to leave his house. What is the legacy that you want to have? Let us think about it. Let us talk about it. And if you are thinking of real estate to acquire on that legacy journey, talk to us at Rep 360. We have wealth advisors here for you that will guide you on the property that fits your portfolio per time. So that's why we are here. We are helping you think legacy. Many other real estate companies will not have this type of conversation with you. So shine your eye. We have your interest and your growth at heart. And we have a community called Club 360 that we are committed to your growth with teachings like this. You see, I don't do this every day, but I do it inside our private community. And I hope our Club 360 get to watch this, because this is extremely important for them. So I'm going to just once again remind every one of you that if you want to acquire real estate that will bring you peace of mind as well as profit, then you should talk to Rep 360's team of wealth advisors who will guide you on which of our properties will suit your goals in this season. Thank you so much, Sandra, for listening and nodding your head and smiling all through.
Yeah, so I was also writing. I was also writing. Yeah, so thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much.
I cannot even believe where the energy came from. See me shouting, talking, and gesticulating, so that I just finished now. I just feel very tired. But I'll be like, once you start teaching like this, something will just. Virtue has left me. I need to be refreshed. I am done for today. All right,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye,
everyone. See you tomorrow. Is the last day. Do not miss it.
Tomorrow is the last day. I will try to be here. Most Fridays I have not been around, but tomorrow I'll try to be here. But you guys prepare for me not being around, because but I'll try. I'll try my very best. Because I have Club 360. I have tomorrow's meeting. We have our. If you are a realtor in Lagos and you would like to learn from me, please show up. We talk to Antonia. Show up with Antonia. Antonia's number is right here on the screen right now. Antonia's number is right on the screen. Chat with Antonia to join me tomorrow, which is why I feel like I might be really, really tired for our evening session. But I will be teaching. You guys have given me 85 minutes to teach. Now to finish me tomorrow, I will not be finished. I have enough. I'm abundant. and I'm going to cause people to grow. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Bye.